हरे। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजना। यमुना तीरवनचारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम राम राम। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे जय राधा श्यामा सुंदर राधा श्यामा सुंदर राधे। जय कृष्ण बलराम जय वृंदावन धाम। जय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय। जय जय प्रभुपाद निताय गौर हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल। श्री श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुम् उन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश। श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथामितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितां च। नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणी। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा। So I welcome all the devotees for the today's evening Bhagavad Gita class. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita chapter 9 and today's verse is verse number 25. So the Bhagavad Gita chapter 9 is the most important chapter, and as you know Bhagavad Gita has got 18 chapters and the middle of this 18th chapter is 9th. Srila Prabhupada explains Bhagavad Gita is divided into 3 parts. Chapter 1 to chapter 6. So that is called as Karma Yoga. And chapter 7 to chapter 12. That is called as Bhakti Yoga. And from 13 to 18. From 12 onwards, that is Jnana Yoga. So the Bhakti Yoga is kept in between Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga. So Srila Prabhupada says Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga are the 2 vehicles to reach to Bhakti. Just like you have seen the pearl, pearl is protected by 2 chips. When you see on the seashore, the bottom half and the top half, inside is a pearl. And the pearl is very important. So the upper half and lower half, these are the 2 protection for the bhakti. So 9th chapter is the most important. That's why the title of this chapter is the most confidential knowledge. So today we are reading verse number 25. Kindly recite this. Okay. Yanti devavrata devan. Yanti devavrata devan. Pitran yanti pitravrataha. Pitran yanti pitravrataha. भूतानि यान्ति भूतेज्या भूतानि यान्ति भूतेज्या यान्ति मद्याजिनोऽपि माम् यान्ति मद्याजिनोऽपि माम् यान्ति देवव्रता देवान् पितरन् यान्ति पितृव्रताः भूतानि यान्ति भूतेज्या यान्ति मद्याजिनोऽपि माम् यान्ति देवव्रता देवान् पितरन् यान्ति पितृव्रताः भूतानि यान्ति भूतेज्या यान्ति मद्याजिनोऽपि माम्
यान्ति देवव्रता देवान्
यान्ति देवव्रता देवान् पितरन् यान्ति पितृव्रताः भूतानि यान्ति भूतेज्या यान्ति मद्याजिनोऽपि माम् यान्ति देवव्रता देवान् पितरन् यान्ति पितृव्रताः भूतानि यान्ति भूतेज्या यान्ति मद्याजिनोऽपि माम् यान्ति देवव्रता देवान् पितरन् यान्ति पितृव्रताः भूतानि यान्ति भूतेज्या यान्ति मद्याजिनोऽपि माम् यान्ति देवव्रता देवान् पितरन् यान्ति पितृव्रताः भूतानि यान्ति भूतेज्या यान्ति मद्याजिनोऽपि माम् यान्ति देवव्रता देवान् पितरन् यान्ति पितृव्रताः भूतानि यान्ति भूतेज्या यान्ति मद्याजिनोऽपि माम् माता यान्ति देवव्रता देवान् पितरन् यान्ति पितृव्रताः भूतानि यान्ति भूतेज्या यान्ति मद्याजिनोऽपि माम् यान्ति देवव्रता देवान् पितरन् यान्ति पितृव्रताः भूतानि यान्ति भूतेज्या यान्ति मद्याजिनोऽपि माम्. Hare Krishna. So word to word meaning, synonyms of this shloka. Yanti, go. Devavrataha, worshippers of demigods. Devan, to the demigods. Pitran, Pitrin, to the ancestors. Yanti, go. Pitravrataha, worshippers of ancestors. Bhutani, to the ghosts and spirits. Yanti, go. Bhutajyaha, worshippers of ghosts and spirits. Yanti, go. Mat, my. Yajinaha, devotees. Api, but. Mam, unto me. The meaning of this verse and the purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship the ancestors go to the ancestors. Those who worship ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings, and those who worship me will live with me. Purport: if one has any desire to go to the moon, the sun, or any planet, one can attain the desired destination by following specific Vedic principles recommended for that purpose. Such are the process technically known as Darsha Paurnamasi. These are vividly described in the fruitive activities portion of the Vedas, which recommends a specific worship of demigod situated on different heavenly planets. Similarly, one can attain the Pita planet or Pitra planet by performing a specific yajna. Similarly, one can go to many ghostly planets and become a yaksha, raksha, pishacha. Pishacha worship is called as black arts or black magic. There are many men who practice this black art and they think that it is spiritualism. But such activities are completely materialistic. Similarly, a pure devotee who worships the Supreme Personality of Godhead only achieves the planets of Vaikuntha and Krishna Loka without a doubt. It is very easy to understand through this important verse that if by simply worshipping the demigods, one can achieve the heavenly planets, or by worshipping the Pitas, achieve the Pita planet, pure devotee not achieve the planet of Krishna or Vishnu? Unfortunately, many people have no information of these sublime planets where Krishna and Vishnu live. And because they do not know of them, they fall down. Even the impersonalists fall down from the Brahma Jyoti. The Krishna consciousness movement is therefore distributing sublime information to the entire human society to the effect that by simply chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, one can become perfect in this life and go back to home, back to Godhead. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. So this is a very important verse in this chapter. Now, so the summary of this chapter is, Lord Krishna is the Supreme Godhead and the supreme object of worship. The soul is eternally related to Him through transcendental devotional service. The soul is eternally related to Krishna through transcendental devotional service, bhakti. By reviving one's pure devotion, one returns to Krishna in the spiritual realm. So for the human being, this chapter is the most important of all Bhagavad Gita chapter. So Bhagavad Gita teaches us the art of dying, how to leave this body in Krishna consciousness, and what is the effect of that end consciousness at the time of death. So Krishna says earlier, yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tajatye antya kalevaram. As the person leaves the body with that consciousness, he will sure to achieve in the next life. So the one definition Prabhupada ji has written, that karma means it is the activity to prepare the body for the next life. That is called karma. We are preparing in this life for the future body. If somebody wants to eat non-vegetarian food, so he is preparing, this is a karma, next life he is going to get the animal body which are non-vegetarian. So this is by providence, God has made all the arrangement. There is a desire for a person, so he will get the next body. Similarly, even in this material world, we see that the judge, when he prosecutes an offender, he declares some punishment. Or phasi. When somebody is given this punishment of phasi, at the last moment, the judge asks his desire. What is your last desire? And suppose if he says, I want to go to 5-star hotel and eat sumptuously, the judge with government money allows him to go to 5-star hotel and is made to eat sumptuously, comes back and then he is hanged. Even in this material world, this is a system. Where this system has come from? This has come from the Supreme Lord's authority. So similarly, Lord says, whatever wish, desire you have at the time of death, you are sure to achieve in this next life. So this whole chapter is divided. This chapter has got 34 shlokas. And this whole chapter can be divided into 5 parts. To understand this chapter in a systematic way, the first part of this chapter is, Arjuna asked a question in the previous chapter, and in answer to that, this chapter opens. Hearing about Krishna. One should hear about Krishna. So in Shlok Kramank 1 to 3, in this chapter, So this is Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam. Shravanam is the one of the anga of bhakti. Idam tu te guhyatamam pravakshamya anasuyave. Jnanam vijnana sahitam yad jnatva mokshase ashubha. So, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, my dear Arjuna, because you are never envious of me, I shall impart to you the most confidential knowledge and realization, knowing which you shall be relieved of the miseries of the material life. So, Lord is declaring, I am going to, give you the most confidential knowledge, you just hear. And then, Raja Vidya Raja Guhyam Pavitram Idam Uttamam Pratyakshaavagamam Dharmam Susukam Kartrum Avyayam. The second shloka. And the third shloka is Ashraddha Dhana Purusha Dharma Shasya Parantapa Aprapyamam Nivartante Mrityu Samsara Vartmani. Those who are not having, faith in this, he will be doomed. So this is the first 3. Krishna is saying, hearing about Krishna, what is the qualification and what is disqualification. One who hears, he achieves a transcendental abode, and one who does not have faith, he will be doomed. Now, second part of this chapter is Krishna's inconceivable relationship with material world. Krishna is, you must have heard in the previous shlokas, how this material world is created. Maya adhyakshana prakriti suyate sacharacharam hetu nanena kaunte jagadvi parivartate. The whole material manifestation, cosmic manifestation under the control of Supreme Lord Krishna. And that's why this is, maintained and revolving. So that is in this part of the chapter. Third part is non-worshipper and worshippers. Avajananti ma mudha manushim tanum ashritam. So, the non-worshippers and the worshippers. There are 4 types of people who come to me and 4 types of people who don't come to me. Krishna says earlier, Namam dushkritino mudha prapadyante naradhama maya pratadhyanam asurim bhavam ashritaha. 4 types of people. Or then there are artho arthati gyani gigyasu. 4 types of people who come to me. So that is worshipper and non-worshipper. Then third part is comparing demigod worshipper and devotees. This is where we are going to discuss today. Shlok Kramank 25 is in this part, that demigod worshipper and the devotees. What is the difference? And the fourth part of this chapter is the glories of directly worshipping Krishna. What is the result of worshipping Krishna directly? Now, in this shloka, Shlok Kramank 25, Prabhupada is writing here, those people who worship the demigods will go to different demigod planets. Those who worship the Pitrus, the ancestors, they go to Pitraloka. And those who worship Raksasis, Pisachis, they go to Pisachi Loka. So as one has his consciousness at the time of death, one will go to that Loka. But such activities are completely materialistic, because all these activities of worshipping the demigods other than Krishna are with some material desire. So that's why they are not spiritualism. But although people call them as spiritualism, in Bengal, there is a black art magic. It's very famous. Right? So, Prabhupada writes here, this is a black magic. Pishacha worship is called as black magic. So there are many men who practice this black art and they think that it is spiritualism. Such activities are completely materialistic. Similarly, but a pure devotee who worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead only achieve the planet of Vaikuntha and Krishna Loka without a doubt. So Prabhupada is asking here, if a man worships Pishacha goes to Pishacha Loka, if he worships Pitra goes to Pitra Loka, and a person who is worshipping Krishna, why doesn't he go to Krishna Loka or Vaikuntha Loka? So the Krishna conscious movement is therefore distributing sublime information to the entire human society. So today in Kali Yuga, many scientists are trying to go to the moon by mechanical means. They are designing an expensive, sophisticated rockets and the devices to go to moon. Prabhupada says, but this is an artificial. One cannot go without performing the yajna or punya to the Chandraloka. One cannot be, sent to moon without having performed some austerity. So that is the qualification to go to moon. Without that qualification, however sophisticated racket you may be having, but it is not possible. But in Krishna consciousness, if anybody wants to go to any of the lokas, it is recommended in the Vedas how to go to Surya Loka, how to go to Pitra Loka. In Srimad Bhagavatam, there are many examples. In Srimad Bhagavatam, there is Karna. In Mahabharata, we know that Karna is a Surya Putra. Kunti Devi obtained Sanna, the blessings of Surya. Before her marriage, when she was a daughter of Kunti Bhoj, king, and Durvasa Muni had, awarded Kunti Devi the mantras. Because when Durvasa Muni came to the Kunti Bhoj's kingdom, Kunti Devi, 13 years, small girl, very humbly and respectfully served and Durvasa Muni and made him happy. Durvasa Muni, out of compassion, he gave 3 boons. You can recite these mantra and call any demigod and you can have the child. Kunti Devi was a small girl, just as a play. To test this mantra, one day she had a desire to see whether this mantra is true. And she invoked this mantra and invited the sun. That is the power of mantra, it was given by Durvasa Muni. And the small girl, Kunti Devi, was frightened. Oh, this mantra is true, but Surya has come now, what should I do? Surya, demigod said, since you have invoked this mantra, and I am going to give a child. She was frightened. So you don't worry, even if you have a child, your purity will not be disturbed. You will be still pure. So sun god gave a child in a womb, and immediately the child was born. But what Kunti Maharani should do with that child? She is not married. From the social customs, she cannot have that child without marriage. So she put that child into the box and left into the river. And you know the story, Karna, one fisherman got him and then he protected him and he became a Karna. So this Karna was a sun god's son and he used to worship sun god. At the end, during the Mahabharata war, when Arjuna killed Karna, the soul of Karna went to sun god. Because he was worshipping the sun and he attained the sun planet. So that is what this shloka is saying. Those who worship the sun god will go to Yanti Devarta Devan Pitran Yanti Pitravarta. Those who worship the sun god, they will go to that planet. So this is one of the example. Karna worshipped sun god and he went back to the sun god planet. There's another story in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, second chapter. Priyavrata Maharaj, son Agnindra, the elder son of Priyavrata Maharaj. And this Priyavrata Maharaj was a great king. Agnindra was also a great king. But he desired to have a son. And he went to Mahindra Parvata. In one of the caves near that Parvata, she started performing very severe austerity to obtain a good son from a good wife. Brahmaji understood his desire. Brahmaji is the great grandfather of Agnindra. So he sent one Urvasi. He sent one Apsara from the heavenly planet. Her name was Purvachitti or Viprachitti. She was very beautiful Apsara. And when he came there and Agnindra was performing the austerity, Viprachitti, with all her actions and beauty, he could attract the Agnindra. And with her ankle bells and her singing and dancing in front of him, he opened the eyes, and when he saw a very beautiful Apsara, and he was attracted to her, and then he described her beauty in various words, and pleased with his description, and this Viprachitti offered him to marry, and Agnindra married her. For long time, both Agnindra and Viprachitti enjoyed this material life. But the duration of Viprachitti was finished, so she said, now I am going back to my heaven. So she left her body and went, she went to heaven, her loka. Agnindra was so much attached to her beauty, and just remembering her, the time that he spent with her, he was remembering and he was worshipping her. And when Agnindra left his body, he went to the same loka where Viprachitti was there and enjoyed with her again in that loka. So this is there in Srimad Bhagavatam. So Agnindra got 9 sons from Viprachitti and 1 daughter. And all the 9 sons were very powerful kings. And he gave 9 islands to all the 9 sons, like Ilavrata Khanda, Kimpurusha Loka. So Kimpurusha is name of one of the son. Ilavrata is name of the one of the son. So 9 khandas, there are 9 names of his sons, and he has given to 9 khanda to 9 sons, and all these khandas are named after them. Another example is Pururava. Pururava was also a great king, and he was a very powerful, very beautiful, and a very courageous king. Once Urvasi, a celestial beauty, she was cursed by a rishi, so that she has to go to this material world because of that curse. And when she heard about Pururava the king, she came down and she offered herself to marry with Pururava. So Pururava, seeing her beauty, he married with. And they both enjoyed for long time. But then her punishment time was finished. She wanted to go back to Swarga. But Pururava was, disturbed, was so much attached to her. he also wanted to go to Swarga. So he performed yajna, and that is where the Karmakanda yajna started. He performed yajna and went to Swarga and enjoyed further with her for some time. So there's a story. So these all story indicate that, if one worships, one desires to go to particular loka, so he can do that by performing the yajnas. But without that, by artificial means, it is not possible to go to any of these lokas. Now, when we see the demigod worshippers, what is their nature and what is their attitude, what is their philosophy, and what is the result? So from various chapters of Bhagavad Gita, this is the summary of demigod worshippers. So the nature of demigod worshipper is they follow Karmakanda section of the Vedas. In Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 8, 16 shloka describes those who follow the Karmakanda section of the Vedas, and generally these people are demigod worshippers. They are attracted to material enjoyment and they seek quick results. They want to see quick result, like Pururava, Agnindra. They wanted to this material enjoyment, quick result. So that is their nature. And what is their philosophy? They believe that one who worships a demigod can reach the Supreme Lord. They think that if they worship the demigod, they will achieve the Supreme Lord. How it is possible? If you want to go to Calcutta, you have to catch the train which goes to Calcutta. But if you are sitting in a train which goes to Chennai and you are expecting to go to Calcutta, how it is possible? It's not possible. So one worship the demigod will not go to Krishna Loka or Vishnu Loka. He will go to that demigod's Loka. They accept demigod as equal to Krishna. There are many gods. All is same. You must have also heard in your relation or maybe before coming to Krishna consciousness, they all say it all is same. So if you do any mantra, it is all same. So in India, many people have this philosophy. They are all demigod worshipper. You chant any mantra, it is all the same. God is one. So there are many people who have this philosophy. A particular demigod is supreme instead of Krishna. So I was working in a company before. I had a friend, very good friend. He was a devotee of Ganesha. So he thought Ganesha is the supreme. And he always felt, whenever I used to call him to a ISKCON temple, he said, no, is there a Ganesha idol there? He used to ask me. So then one day I had an idea. In Jagannath Puri, Jagannath has once assumed the Ganesha form. So there is one festival. Jagannath ji has taken the form of Ganesha. There was one Maharashtra Brahmin who is the devotee of Ganesha. So he used to think that the supreme god is Ganesha. And everybody was talking about the Supreme Lord Jagannath. Jagannath is the Jagatnath, master of the whole universe. So he heard about this. And he thought Ganesha and Jagannath are the same. People are referring to Ganesha as Jagannath. So he went walking to Jagannath Puri. He was a staunch devotee of Ganesha and full faith. He did not have any desire just to worship Ganesha. And he went to Jagannath Puri, but he saw that there was no Ganesha. There was Jagannatha. And he was not satisfied. So this is not my Ganesha. He is not Jagannath. So he just started returning, He was not happy. And then Jagannatha, because of this devotee's mood, he told Jagannath ji assumed the form of a Brahmana. And when he was returning back to his place, the Brahmana, Jagannath ji came in the form of Brahmana. He said, "Oh, you have not taken the darshan of your Ganesha?" He said, "No, I went there thinking that Jagannath was Ganesha, but he was not Ganesha, he was different." "No, no, you have not seen properly, you just go. Jagannatha is Ganesha only." Brahmana was surprised. And again he went back to have the darshan of Jagannath. And he saw that Jagannath was having a trunk just like Ganesha. Both Jagannath, Baldev and Subhadra, they have the form of Ganesha. So Jagannath just showed this devotee the form of Ganesha. And then he was satisfied. And then he thought Ganesha and Jagannath are the same. So his devotion to Jagannatha increased because of this. So every year there is a festival in Jagannath Puri. They decorate Jagannath ji with that costume of Ganesha, Gajapati. So the philosophy of the demigod worshipper is a particular demigod is supreme instead of Krishna. So he said Ganesha is supreme, then Jagannatha he was thinking, the demigod worshipper. This word is meant for enjoyment. Always demigod worshipper have this philosophy. This word is meant for enjoyment. So goal is dharma, artha and kama. There is no moksha. Only these three. Demigod worshippers, dharma, artha and kama. Enjoyment. Then what is their mentality and attitude? I am the enjoyer. Demigod worshipper says. They desire superior enjoyment in higher planets. Generally, they want to perform some yajna to go to Swarga or some other planets, moon planet, to enjoy there further. Okay, I'll come back to that. Then there is a false prestige. Intelligence lost due to lusty desires. So, because of that lusty desire, their intelligence is lost. That is mentality and attitude. Their action is, they perform prescribed duties. They all follow the Vedas, Karma Kanda section of the Vedas they follow, worship demigod, perform sacrifice. Result is he achieves higher planetary system and enjoys until his pious results are exhausted and then returns to the middle planetary system. So all these demigod worshippers, the final goal is not the final. It's a temporary. So they go to these different planets, and when their pious activity is finished, they come back. Just like, somebody is purchasing a first class ticket in a train, paying say maybe 3,000 rupees, and this train is going to Chennai. So up to Chennai, he is enjoying that. All that facility, there is AC inside, there is a food, and there is all comfort. But when the Chennai is reached, the destination, he is asked to get down. Similarly, a person who performs yajna, he occupies the pious activities, and when that pious activity is finished, he will be sent back again. But the Krishna worshippers of the Supreme Lord, when they worship Supreme Lord, when they go to Krishna Loka or Vishnu Loka, they don't come back again to this material world. That is the difference. In Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, chapter 23, Lord gave his mercy to Brahmana Patnis, the wives of the Brahmana. This is a very beautiful, Leela that Lord performed in the same area here, Raman Reti here. So Bhatrod Bihari, have you gone there? You all have seen Bhatrod Bihari? Okay. So these were the Brahmanas, very scholarly Brahmanas, and they wanted to perform the Angirasa Yajna. By performing that Angirasa Yajna, they wanted to go to Swarga. That was their goal. So with all that opulent preparation, one day they were performing this Yajna. And then their goal was to go to Swarga. So Krishna on the same day in the morning, along with all his calves and cows, and friends came along this Yamuna's bank and came to this Ashok Vraksha here, Ashoka 1. This was the Ashok 1. When he came there, all the boys that day, they did not bring tiffin. They were all hungry. They told Krishna, Krishna, we are very hungry, do something. Krishna smiling told them, okay, now there are some brahmanas who are performing yajna. They want to go to Swarga. So please go and tell them that, Dauji Balram, you take the name of Balram. Balramji and Krishna have come there. So they have not bought the tiffin today. They are also hungry. If your performance is completed, so kindly give us some prasad. So these boys goes running to this Mathura place where they are performing yajna, and they request these brahmanas in the similar way where what Krishna has told them, in the same way. But these brahmanas were so engrossed in performing yajna, they did not care for these gopas. So the gopas were standing there for a long time. They are not ready to see to them also. They performed Dandavata and very humbly requested, but these brahmanas could not see them. So they were very disappointed, came back. And Krishna saw them. Oh, you have fully taken your lunch? And have you bought something for me also? The boy said, what, Krishna? They did not give anything to us. What were bringing to you? Even after hearing your name, they were indifferent. Krishna smilingly said, no, we are very hungry, do something. Okay, now you please go back again. Their wives are cooking in the Pakshala, in the Yajneshala. So in a similar way, you ask them, you offer your Dandavata and tell them that, if you have finished your Yajna activities, can you give us some prasad? So again the boys goes running there this time. And the wives of the Brahmana are cooking all the various preparations like the rice, lemon rice, dahi rice, sweet rice, and puris, halwa, all the preparation was for yajna. And these boys went again and offered their dandavat and again similarly requested to give them some prasad. And these wives of the Brahmana are so enchanted seeing these gopas. They were so happy to see them. When they heard Krishna, immediately, where is Krishna? Where is Balram? We want to see them. And they took all the preparation meant for that yajna, put in the big basket, and then taking that basket onto their head, all the Brahmanas' wives took all the preparation and said, Chalo, let's go. We want to see Krishna. And walking all the distance, they came from Mathura, they came to this place where there is a tila and there is a small, mountain. And on the top of the mountain, Krishna and Balram and all the gopas were playing there. And the Brahmana wives saw Krishna, such a beautiful form. It's explained in Srimad Bhagavatam how the wives of the Brahmanas saw them. And Krishna, seeing them smilingly, he took all the preparation, asked them to sit, and with very kind word, he praised them. You walked all the way just for us, and thank you very much. So you give this preparation and you go back. And all these Brahmana wives in Dronas, they gave all this preparation to them. And such a beautiful form in Srimad Bhagavatam it is explained. Shyamam hiranya paridim vanamalya barha dhatu pravala natavesha vinivartam se vinyasta hasta itarena dhuna namabjam karnotpalalaka kapola mukhabjahasam. It's a very beautiful shloka. They saw this beauty of Krishna. Shyamam hiranya paridim vanamalya barha. Very beautiful bluish color Krishna had. And yellow silk dress he was wearing. And Vanamala, he was wearing the Vaijayanti Mala. Vanamala, Vaijayanti Mala means the garland with 5 different flowers. And one hand he was resting his shoulder on Balram's shoulder, and with the other hand he was rotating a lotus. And that is what the beauty is explained in this verse. And Prabhupada was very much inspired by this incident. So that's why in the Krishna Balrama, you have seen the Krishna Balram standing. He has taken from the Srimad Bhagavatam from the same place. So that's why because this was in Raman Reti, And Prabhupada had chosen Krishna Balram, the same form, what we see here in Krishna Balrama. The Brahmana wives saw this. So Krishna gave them their mercy and asked them to go back. You see, the wives of the Brahmana could understand Krishna. They had a long cherished desire to see Krishna. But the husband of these Brahmanis, they could not understand who Krishna was. Although they were very scholarly Panditas, they are performing the yajna to go back to Swarga, go to Swarga. But the simple Brahmana wives, they are not learned Brahmanas. Just by hearing about Krishna, they had a long cherished desire to see Krishna, and they got the mercy of Krishna today. And when the Krishna asked them to go back, please go back because your husbands are waiting for you. You are from a very high caste Brahmanas. I am the Gopa. I am a cowboy. So you please go back. Then these Brahmana wives are very much disturbed. Krishna, please, don't send us with such a cruel words. You have said in Bhagavad Gita, in Nigama, in Shastra, you have said that any soul who surrenders to you, comes to you, they will not go back again to this material world. So please prove this today. They are, asking Krishna. So please prove that whatever you have said in Bhagavad Gita, or those who surrender to Krishna and go to Krishna, they will not come back again to this mortal material world. So please prove this. Please don't send us back with such a cruel word. So this prayer is very beautiful prayer in Srimad Bhagavatam. So they offer this prayer at this place. And since they made Krishna to eat bhat, the rice, in that drona, so that's why it is called as Bhat Dron Bihari. Bhat Dron Bihari. Now it is Ababramsha, it is called as Bhat Rod Bihari. And there's a prayer, very beautiful prayer. So this prayer is like this. Maivam vibhorati bhavan gaditum rushamsam satyam kurusvanigamam tava padamulam prapta vayam tulasidama padavasristam kesair nivodumatilangia samasta bandhu. Very beautiful prayer. Maivam vibho, please don't say these cruel words. We have come here to surrender to you. We have left everything. All that relation we have cut off. Husbands, wife, husband, children, and the father-in-law, mother-in-law. We have cut off all that relation just to see you. Please don't send us back. And what you have said in Nigama, Vedas, you please prove this today. And we don't disturb you between yourself and all the gopis. Whatever garland, tulsi garland you have, you have taken, and after wearing this garland, you have thrown away this garland, and we collect all this thrown away nirmalya, and then we decorate our heads with those nirmalya. We don't disturb you, and we want to stay here peacefully. Please don't send us back. And the tears were coming in from their eyes. And Krishna blessed them and made them peaceful. So you had a desire to see me, and my form will always remain in your heart, and you will always be cherished. You'll be joyful just meditating on this form. So please go back, and you will be always happy. And he also assured that your husband and all your father-in-laws, they will not reject you. Seeing you, they will be also happy, and they will accept you. So please go back. So this way, Krishna sends them back, and all these Brahmana wives, just seeing Krishna and then returning very happily, they go back to their house. So Jiva Goswami in his book, Gopal Champu, he writes that when all these Brahmana wives, when they went to their house was fully decorated with golden ornaments, with the jewels, and the utensils which they carry for Krishna, all these utensils were converted into the golden pots. Because they satisfied Krishna, their all house became very purified, and is all converted into golden, very opulent house, just by serving Krishna. So this is the devotees, and you can see the difference between the demigod worshippers and the devotees. And the husbands, when they saw their wives, they were so much satisfied to see them, because they were so happy. They immediately understood how fortunate these our wives are. And alas, how unfortunate we are. Although we have studied Vedas for many years, but today when the Krishna came personally, we could not understand him. And how fortunate our wives are. These are our gurus. They are fortunate. They saw Krishna, although they do not know anything in this Shastra. Simple wives, but they could achieve the highest goal of the human life. And they started offering their prayers and dandavats to their wives. And Srila Prabhupada writes here in this purport, although they wanted to go back and see Krishna, but they could not do so because of fear of Kamsa. Because if the Kamsa comes to know that this Brahmana went to see Krishna, he will kill them. So just fearing for Kamsa, they could not go. But they were satisfied to see their wives. And this is the difference between devotees and the demigod worshippers. So that is there in this shloka. Yanti devarta devan pittan yanti pitravartaha bhutani yanti bhuteja yanti madhyajino pimam. And those who worship me, they will surely come to me. So thank you very much. This is a very beautiful chapter, beautiful verse. And there are beautiful stories associated with this verse. So time is already over. If you have any questions, any comments, please, 1 or 2 minutes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, please.
This Chaitanya Charitamrita says, Bhakti Mukti Siddhi Kami Sakala Asha Krishna Bhakta Nishkam Ataiva Shanta.
Yeah.
So that is the. But one thing I want to ask, like there are so many demigods, and Lord Shiva, we know Vaishnavanam Yathastham. Bhagavatam says, Devanam Achyuta, rivers and Ganges and like that.
Yeah.
Also, Mother Saraswati, Ganesh, Brahma Samhita says he removes obstacles.
Right.
So, if we worship some demigod, like we serve our spiritual master or Vaishnava to please him to get his blessings. If we want to please some demigod and get his blessings, so that we can be a better Vaishnava. So, is that thought not proper?
Okay, it's a very good question. See, demigod worshipping for this sense enjoyment is not good. But if you worship any demigod to attain Krishna, it is good. So if you worship Ganesha to remove the obstacle in the Krishna bhakti path, it's good. If you see them as a Vaishnava. And if you worship, anybody is worshipping Shiva without any desire, just to please Shiva. And what Shiva does, he will give him Krishna bhakti. There are many examples. Those who worship Shiva and don't ask anything material, he will definitely award him Ram bhakti or Krishna bhakti. But Shiva he will be also pleased if anybody worship him for any material benefit, immediately he awards them also. Like Ravana, Kumbhakarna, they were all worshippers of Shiva. And he wanted the golden Lanka. So immediately he sanctioned. So demigod worship for attaining Krishna is good. The gopis, some of the gopis here, they worshipped Katyayani Devi. You know, Cheer Ghat you have seen? In Cheer Ghat, they all, the Brajavasis, the Kanyas, unmarried girls from Braj, they worshipped Katyayani. And why they worshipped? In Magh Mas, early morning, all these went to this Yamuna ji and they took bath, they removed all the dresses and kept there. Took early morning, in Magh Mas is very cold. And they were worshipping Katyayani and requesting Katyayani to get Krishna as their husband. And this worship is accepted. Krishna accepts this. And that's why Krishna came and stole their dresses. So Katyayani Mata is worshipping, for even Sita Mata worshipped Katyayani. Sita Mata worshipped Gauri Devi to receive Lord Rama, her husband. Rukmini Devi, before her marriage, because she worshipped Kuladevata to get Krishna as their husband. So if you worship demigod for Krishna Bhakti, that worship is okay. But if you worship demigod for the material benefits, that is temporary. So those people whose intelligence is stolen by the desires of material desires, they worship the demigods. But those who worship the demigod for attaining Krishna, that's okay. And they are worshipping Krishna but indirectly. But the conclusion of this chapter is, it is better to worship Krishna directly. Akamo sarva kamamo moksha kama udaradiha tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. Even one has a desire or no desire, one has a desire for moksha or no desire, one should worship directly Krishna. That is the best thing. So that is what the conclusion of the Shastra. And one very important is, those who are having some desire, any desire, and with that desire he worship Krishna, that desire will also become purified. There's a very beautiful shloka. Do you remember? Bharjita Kachita Dhana. So, like for example, seeds, if you boil these seeds or if you fry these seeds, they will not become fructify. They will not, they don't get fructified, So similarly, any desire, if that desire is towards Krishna, then your desire will be beautified. So these young gopis from Vrindavan are having the earnest desire, but that desire was towards Krishna, and that desire became very beautified. So any desire, if it is towards Krishna, that desire become very purified, beautified. So that was the conclusion of this chapter, Chiraharan.
Just one more thing to add to it. This you gave example of Urvachati and Agnidhara and Pururava. So how we can be attracted to Lord Krishna's beauty completely, madly? Okay. Because these people went mad in their love. So Bhagavatam says that Lord Krishna's beauty is a feast for the eyes. His enchanting eyes and so on. But we see rarely in the devotional world also that you see such love of Godhead or love for the Lord. Whereas this is so complete. They go mad and then you said they went even to the Pitra Loka. So how to be attracted to Lord Krishna's beauty completely?
Okay. So very good question again. So to attract to Krishna is to associate with the devotees. Because Pururava, Agnidhara, all that, they had association of this beauty, material beauty. They got attracted. But if by some fortune, if you are attracted to some devotee or you associate with the devotees, definitely you will be attracted to Krishna. That's why in Srimad Bhagavatam, Tulayam lavenapi na swargam na punarbhavam bhagavat sangi sangasya martyanam kim utashisha. If one associate with the devotee even for a fraction of time, the benefit of that fraction of time association is much, bigger than benefit of getting a swarga or moksha. So that's why Prabhupada says why we have built temples. So just to give the association of devotees to the common people. Why there is a scripture? Because to associate, Prabhupada is associating with anybody who comes to these books, he will be associating with Prabhupada. And seeing this all beautiful description, one will be naturally attracted to Krishna. When he reads these books, he will be attracted to go to temple. And when he sees Krishna, he will be naturally attracted. Just see all our lives, before coming to this Krishna Bhakti, how we came to Krishna Bhakti, how we are today attracted to Krishna, just because of some Vaishnava association or mercy of these books. Many foreigners, who just by reading these books, they have come to Krishna. Association. So that's why Prabhupada says A, B, C, D. A is the association. First thing is association. B is books. C is chanting. D is diet, prasad. So these are the four things which will make us to get attracted to Krishna. Yes, please.
Like Prabhu, the purport last time Prabhupada says, just chanting Hare Krishna mantra on Govinda go to Goloka Vrinda.
Yeah.
So, how to understand this? Just chanting is enough, or then there is a four principles, then that things follow. So just chanting is enough to go to Goloka Vrinda,
Okay.
or do we need other things also, or does it follow?
Okay. See, chanting, although there are no rules, if one chants continuously and if he becomes in that consciousness and by the grace of the Lord, grace of Vaishnava, at the time of death, if he chants, take the name of Krishna, he is sure to go back to, Krishna Loka. So, Antya Kalecha Mame was Smaran Muktva Kalevaram. Ya Prayati Tad Madbhavam Yati Nastaitra Samshaya. There is no doubt, Krishna says, if one chants my name at the time of death, he is sure to come to my loka. But, even by practicing this chanting for long time, at the time of death, if he has some desire, he does not take the name of Krishna, but if he has that desire comes to his mind, he will not go to the Krishna loka. Like for example, Bharat Maharaj, he left everything, came to the forest just for the meditation. He was chanting, but because his mind got attracted to that deer, small deer, at the time of death he remembered that deer. Next time he took the form of deer. It's very important at the time of death we should remember Krishna. But if we are not following the rules, we are not very serious, as what Prabhupada has said or said in the Shastra, if we are, then we are not attentive. Maybe we might slip at the time of death. So that's why following the regulative principles, we become serious, attentive chanting will definitely go to Krishna Loka. So why we have to follow, eat only prasad? Because If we eat only prasad, we will be remembering Krishna, we will be thankful to Krishna, we will be conscious about Krishna. And if we leave all our other desires, if somebody, takes the drinks, but he is chanting, let's say, for example. But how his consciousness will be always towards Krishna? He's taking drink but chanting. At the time of death, he takes drink and dies. So how will take the name of Krishna? So that's why these 4 activities, Prabhupada, these are the foundation for spiritualism. If any of these pillar is not there properly, and that consciousness will not be, stable. So no meat eating. If somebody he's meat eating but he's chanting, his mind will get disturbed. At the time of death, if he remembers, oh, there's a very good chicken I should eat. So he will go to yeah. So that's why we should purify our conscience. Although the chanting itself will purify our heart, but we should also try to follow these regulative principles and then chant seriously. Because it's a very big thing. Such a great thing. We have got such a big opulence. Golokera prem dhana. It's a big opulence we have got in our hand. And we should be careful about it. We should not just lose it. And all these are the dacoits. Meat eating habit, the sex habit and gambling habit, these are all like dacoits. If you have this opulence, dhana, they will just squander. They'll loot karenge hamara. So that's why we should be careful. We got this dhana, golokera prem dhana in our hand. We should be protecting this by following this regulative principle. Yeah. Thank you very much. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की श्रील